Hey, welcome to the Honey and Harry show. I'm finally back.
Honey's back.
I know. I'm feeling better.
And this is Harry at the board tonight.
I know. So, Dad put out a little video. It was really a joke video, right, Dad?
Yes, it was a joke.
I was not making demands on pay. And I was
You sure?
no, I wasn't making demands on pay and clothing allowance and all those things. But I did. I was sick with COVID for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So, we didn't do the show for 2 weeks. But anyways, today we have two guests. We have Tiffany Coleman and we have Monica
Goree.
Goree. Okay. I'm just, I'm always butchering last names. So, but anyways, welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you
for having us.
Oh, absolutely. So I got hooked up with, I guess, Tiffany through a friend of mine, Melissa. And she was like, you have to have her on the show. This book, it's great. You need to read it. You need to have them on. I was like, okay, well, let me get the book. So Tiffany brings the book over and I read the book. Well, I'm just going to tell you, it took me, that's why I don't know if remember you said after you read my story?
Yes.
And I didn't?
Yes, call
because I
me.
took a break. I took a break from the book because it got me so many different times, and then I would get so immersed in these stories I couldn't stop. So it was 11 women that told their stories, and each story hit me like a ton of bricks, and all the women are like the most amazing women. Like, I want to be their friend. I want to join their group. I don't know if they'll let me, but I want to join. But it's just amazing. I think everybody should read this book. I think such a testimony of hardship, also faith. We talk a lot about faith on our show. Such faithful, y'all are both very faithful women. All the women. I mean, I don't know them all, but they're just so faithful. But anyway, so today they're going to kind of tell us how all this even got started. How did they decide to write a book? How did this even how'd y'all even think about it? So I'm going to kind of who wants to take the wheel first?
I'll take the wheel.
Weren't you the one that thought of doing this?
Yes. So we began as a book club.
Okay.
It was initially, I think it was 8 of us. Then we started as a book club. We'd gather together a couple times throughout the year, like March and October, and just read books. Some of them were faith-based and then just different genres of books. And we would come together and discuss and laugh and chat. But as we continued to meet, we began to trust one another and started opening up. Some of the books would resonate with us, and we would really, would make us kind of like you said with our book, how it had you were into this book, so it made you think about your own life, and some of the books that we would read would make us think about our own lives.
Okay.
And so we began to share, and that's how we started to bond. And then from the book club, we began to travel and hang out and just do a lot of things together throughout the year, movie days. Our husbands would pick on us and say, you all are not really reading books.
This is not
You're
a book
traveling.
club.
How
Y'all
is
just
that a
hang
book
out.
club?
Yes.
So
Oh my
that
gosh.
is still a running joke that we don't really read, but we do.
Yeah, y'all do.
But we'll tell them, oh, that's our movie club. Or, oh, that's our travel club. That's not
Right.
the book club.
A spinoff from the book club.
That's been off in the book. But that's so cool that y'all do that because, women need each other. So
Yes.
much women need each other. I mean, it's crazy that y'all got this started.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, how did y'all say, okay, we're going to write a book?
So we have been together for 10 years. We started in 2014. So 2024 was going to be our 10-year reunion, our 10-year anniversary. So we decided to commemorate the 10 years. Why don't we tell our own stories? And we wanted to do that in the hopes that we would help other women. That we
So
would be able to.
when was this? How many years ago did y'all write this? How old is this book?
So we started writing this book in 2023.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we started April of 2023, Tiffany.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we finished it and launched it in January of 2024.
Oh, okay.
So we just launched it this year, but we finished it up at the end of 23.
Okay.
And
may I interject and
Yes.
say, Monica, she's very modest, but this was Monica's vision. The book club was Monica's vision, and the book was Monica's vision. But we were so excited and so happy to get on board, with this. I think it was something new to all of us and different, and we really had to dig deep and pray, because it's like, share my story. What am I going to share? But Monica, it was her vision, and we just followed suit.
That's amazing. That is well, after reading, I was telling them who I thought they were. It's so silly. I know, it's so silly just meeting y'all. And I was like, you're so strong. You're strong too, but that's what I took away from the book. And then I took away that you were a perfectionist and so hard on yourself. Such a good, and y'all just great people. Like really great people, like good human beings. And that's why I'm so honored to have y'all on, because y'all are y'all have to read the book. Everybody has to read this book, because it touched me. And so I cried some when I read the book. I had to put it down. I wanted to beat people up. I wanted to do all kind of crazy stuff when I was reading. And so it took me through a roller coaster of emotions, but that is what a good book does.
Yes.
So those are good. Y'all are all great writers.
Thank you.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
That y'all just thought of this, decided, okay, we're going to do it on a whim, I guess, kind of. Really, y'all didn't really prepare much for it, did y'all?
We didn't prepare, but really our preparation, we were preparing and didn't really realize it when we were meeting up and we were sharing our stories.
Sharing everything.
But realizing that we were helping one another with our own stories. We were helping each other get stronger. We were building each other up along the way. So we decided in writing our stories, we wanted to help other women. So we wrote it with a purpose, really. Yes. Even telling the stories for most of us was difficult. Just to open up and be able to share parts of our lives that we probably only shared among each other or maybe with a few close people, but to really open up and tell those parts of our lives to the world. That was a big challenge.
No, and you're vulnerable.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And, we were talking about that earlier, even out in the den, we were kind of talking about the world's so judgmental. Mm-hmm. And for you to go and just open your soul and your heart and to help other people heal. Because even I was reading some of the things and it's like, God loves you no matter what. No matter what happens, no matter what you go, He always wants you. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing I think people lose sight of when they're going through hard stuff and sometimes they turn to bad things and do bad things.
Exactly.
Because it's like, well, I'm this terrible person. I'm already going. They may think they're already, lost, going to hell, going wherever. So I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing. But that's not true.
That's right.
God will take you the minute you say you want Him.
Yes.
And that's what people, surrender yourself to Him. Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. So that's kind of what I took from it too, which was, an amazing thing to take away. It's such a teaching lesson because it's the truth. Because if Jesus always said, if He was walking the earth, He's not going to be walking with people that are living in the nice houses and have their life together. He's going to be trying to get those people that are on the streets.
Right.
He wants everybody because He loves us all the same.
That's
exactly.
And we are all His children.
Exactly.
So I took that away from your book, which was amazing to do that, So tell us some more. Tell us just give us some more info on the book. I don't want to tell each and every story because I think that needs to be something for people. That's why you need to buy the book to read it. But you can maybe give a little bit of background of just combined, some of the maybe combined stories.
So I'll give you a few highlights.
A few highlights. That's the kind of
a few highlights. Between the 11 women, all of our stories, as you can tell, were different.
Very, very different.
A story on healing, a lady that overcame cancer.
Yeah.
Through the power of God and through healing. We have a story about a single mom.
Yep.
Who successfully raised a son and purchased her own home. And she gives a story and background on that. What else?
We have a story about self-care. And
yes.
Yes.
That stuck out to me because we
Yes.
don't do that as women. And
That's
why do we
right.
think like we're being selfish? I
Right.
do.
Exactly. You know,
I think
but
sometimes-
we need that.
I know.
And yes, so that chapter spoke to me personally.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
And then another lady, another one of our sisters, she talked about imposter syndrome.
So, Dad, remember me talking to you about that?
Yes.
And I really had never heard of that. Isn't that crazy? And I didn't know what that meant. You know? And I was like, Dad, have you ever heard of that? And he was like, yeah. And
Yeah, I've experienced some of it. When you're a teacher and you're trying to help students learn, and you're insecure about whether you even know the subject matter.
Right.
That's
Yes.
a small example, but I kind of went through that kind of thing too. So.
so, and that's what, and I'm so glad that you're saying all those things because there's something for everybody.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
just one thing. And it also teaches you some things, you know, not to be hard on yourself, not to be hard on other people, not to always judge a
Right.
book by its cover. You know,
That's right.
you just don't know. I always tell that to my daughter who's a nurse, like, just go in there and be the nicest person you can be to them because it's maybe the only time they're ever treated like a human being,
Right.
which
So
is
true.
so sad.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm very blessed. I was, you know, my parents were great, had a great life. You know, it was great. Not everybody gets that.
True.
But that doesn't mean you can't be compassionate and try to help people that didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all those things. So, that's where I think the whole great thing for the book. So, I wanted you to kind of talk to me about y'all are doing a walk now and how y'all are trying to, you know, raise awareness for the little boy.
Domestic violence.
Violence.
So,
Because that's something that I think that's amazing that y'all are doing to try to, you know, awareness with that.
yes, and this movement came about from one of the stories in the book. One of our sisters lost her son to domestic violence. So, every year we have a National Take a Walk Day in honor of his birth, you know, to celebrate him.
What date is that, by the
That's
way?
July 21st.
Okay. Well, y'all need to
Yes.
put that on y'all's website, too, that walk.
Yes.
Because that's something I would love to do.
Okay.
Because that's such a positive thing because
really,
so
really is.
many kids are victims
Yes.
of that.
Yes.
And it happens more than we think. That is one reason my daughter said she would never work at Children's. You know, because it's just too hard to see the little ones, you know, get
Yes.
hurt and stuff. So, but I think that's a great thing. So, Dad, why don't you pull up a picture of like a group of the women? So, can you kind of go through and maybe tell us who everyone is? I know, because I want to introduce everybody because, you know, y'all are here representing the book, which I'm very grateful for, but they all did the work too.
They
Absolutely.
did.
So, I kind of
Absolutely.
want to give everybody a little bit of a shout out.
Okay. You want to introduce? What about the other picture?
Another picture is a better picture. Is another
Maybe
picture
so.
better? That
Yes.
one. Let's do that one. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So we'll start left to right.
Yes.
Okay. So in the front we have Betty Lodge, and then we have Tawanda Weatherspoon, and myself, Tiffany Coleman, Danielle Mack. And
That's the lady in pink.
In the pink,
Okay.
yes. And so then behind her, we have on the end we have Joyce Talbot. Next to her, we have Valerie Downing. Then we have yours truly, Monica Goree. And in this group, we actually have two Tiffanys, Tiffany Temple and two Danielles. And we have Danielle Anderson and Jennifer Taylor.
Oh my goodness. So, and everybody contributed, and I'm going to tell you every story.
And we're missing one from this picture.
Yes.
Oh.
She wasn't able to attend at the time. She was sick at that time,
Right.
so she wasn't able to join us.
So who was that?
That's Lisa.
Lisa.
That's
Okay.
the self-care
Yes.
lady.
The
Self-care.
self-care.
Okay.
The one
Yes.
that talks
Self-care.
about taking
Yes.
care-
No, and that's really true. Oh, okay. So what is this? Where did y'all? What was? Is this when y'all? Where is this?
We were in Dallas.
Oh, in Dallas. Okay.
Yes, So one of our members, our book club members, live in Dallas. That's Jennifer Taylor. She has on
Okay,
like
so
the
everybody
lime green.
lives all over.
Yes,
I
Lisa
guess I
is
didn't
in
realize
New
that.
Orleans.
Most of us live here, but Lisa is in New Orleans.
Okay.
And Jennifer is in Dallas.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. So y'all still get together.
Yes. We were just together in October to celebrate our 10 years. But
Right.
all of us, all 11 of us were together. And
Okay, so was everybody living in Baton Rouge at the time, or
no, this was this past October.
no?
Yes.
I'm just saying when y'all first
when
got
it
to
started.
Oh,
when it
when we
started.
formed, everyone except for Lisa. Lisa always lived in New Orleans.
Lived in New
Jennifer lived in Baton Rouge, and then she moved to Dallas. So
Okay.
sometimes we have meetings in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll have our
Oh, y'all
book club
go to
when
Da-
she hosts.
Well, that's
we'll
a
go
fun
to
trip.
Dallas.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Oh.
fun, and she's a good cook. Like she makes excellent grits. So
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So there's my friend Stormy, the one I was telling about that lived next door to me. So she's such a reader. So she's good. I know she'll be excited to read this book. It's so inspiring. So I'm excited. So that's what she just pulled up right there. So Dad, what's the next bit? Okay, there y'all all are again.
Yes.
Beautiful. All of y'all are so beautiful. So tell me some more things y'all do when y'all get together. Like give us some more like dirt.
Some dirt. Let us tell
Because
you.
I feel like y'all are so like even reading the book and like I was even like golly, I have some close friends too, but y'all are like really close, and I wanted to join y'all's group. I was like, I want to be in the group. I want to be in that. I just think it's just such a y'all are all so strong and like amazing people. Like after I finished each thing, it was like you start off, you read the different, and then it's like wow, what a cool person. Like I want to be a part of this person's life,
Yes.
So what are some of the other things that y'all do?
Besides, we travel. We
And
celebrate each other's
do
birthday.
y'all all go to the same church, or is everybody?
No.
Okay, so
We
people
don't.
at different churches.
Different
We're at
churches,
different
Is
different
it different
cities.
denominations? Like
Yeah, well,
are y'all all the
Is it?
same?
I think we're kind of all the same.
We're similar.
maybe.
Similar denominations? No, I
Right.
mean I'm just
Yeah, I would
asking.
say
Yes,
similar.
I would say similar.
Yeah.
then, yeah.
So what about the husbands?
what about those husbands? What do you want to know about those husbands?
Well,
they're supportive.
They are.
But they make fun of us, like we
They
said
do.
earlier. Like they don't really believe we're a book club. They don't believe we read. Rather,
They-
they think we use that as an excuse to get
To get
together.
away from them?
Yes, yes.
They do.
I know, but I
They
mean,
do.
y'all really do. I mean, what did your husbands think about the book?
Oh, they were excited to see
Yes.
us. All of our husbands were very supportive to see us step out and
And encouraging.
to launch the book and to write it and to tell our stories. And they've helped us with the launch, setting up, selling books. Tiffany hauls all of our books, so her husband's running back and forth and dropping
She found
books
the good
off.
one.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Yes, I
He's
found the
dropping
good
books
one.
off and doing things for us, running little errands.
love
So
it.
they're all very supportive.
Oh, that's so good.
So-
And it's like y'all all got to like that good place. And,
Yes.
and it's like you never give up.
Yes,
Yeah.
by God's grace.
By God's grace, you
Yes.
really do. So what I want y'all to do is tell everybody when they order the book. Oh, she's so funny. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just reading what people are writing. So what are you? Excuse me. What are y'all doing with the proceeds of the book? So go ahead and.
So, of course, we wrote this book for ministry. That's the key purpose. We all walk through different things in life, but as I said, by God's grace, we made it through, keeping our hands in His hands and having encouraging sisters. So, our goal is to build the community, to strengthen women in the community, hoping that they read our stories and they find strength in knowing with God I can do anything, and they begin to build their own communities, because community is great.
Oh,
To have go ahead.
It's everything.
To have women to walk with you as you go through trials, and keeping your mind centered on God, not the trial that you're going through, but God and what He will bring you through. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How faithful He is.
and how good he is.
Yes.
So Tiffany, the other Tiffany, and a couple of the other ladies, they got together and they did a singles, like a book discussion. And from that, they started a life group for women. So some of our proceeds will go to support some of their efforts. But when we say a life group, it's like a Bible study group, a community group.
No, but I love that.
They're trying to grow that community. Of course, we're going to support Tawanda with the Take a Walk. Take a Walk.
Absolutely.
Those are the two initiatives that we know that we want to
That's
support.
what I want people to know.
Yes.
Like, it's not just, it's y'all are doing something great. Will there be more books?
We don't know about more books, but it'll definitely be conferences. We plan
Yes,
to do
we'll have-
a retreat, a conference.
I think y'all should do something like that. Like, go around and, like you said, do conferences and do retreats for women. So needed.
Yes.
It
And
really
we've-
is so needed. And y'all are such the example of strength and strong women getting through things. And even just like you said with the self-care, just women, we need that.
Yes.
We need that. We need to be built up. And we need to be built up by other women because sometimes we just don't get that all the time. So I think a retreat would be really cool to do.
Yes.
And if you sell enough books. Oh, my mom's so funny. What's the exact title, Mom? Shades of Victory.
Shades of Victory.
I know. My mom is a mess. So, Shades of Victory. So, Dad, pull up the website for me. If y'all can, like, maybe, excuse me, my cough drop. I have to take that out. All that COVID I had. So this is the website. You could just go to shadesofvictory.com, Dad.
.org.
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 Okay, .org. And then you just go to order now, and you, Dad, put the link up. Okay.
No, the link is
Right there. Okay, right
shadesofvictory.org.
there. So you just go up there, and then you can order the book, and y'all are doing amazing things with the money that y'all are getting. I mean, I'm probably going to get a few more books, and I'm going to give them as Christmas presents. I think that's a great.
you.
The holidays are coming
Yes.
up. I think this is a great thing. I think invest in, like I always say, invest locally, invest in local businesses, invest in
Yes.
our community, invest.
Absolutely.
Don't
Yes.
invest in Amazon. And we're gonna get thrown off the air, huh, Dad? No, but I'm just saying, like, invest. That's why I wanted to buy. So I told you we want the book to come directly where y'all get the benefit of it.
Yes.
So y'all can do the other thing because y'all are going to do so much.
Yes,
to
because
help.
there's definitely more to come. So.
Yes.
No, there is more, and I think it will inspire other women to maybe write their own stories.
Yes.
And, you don't know, there might be the next generation of women
Yes.
that want to come and write something like this to inspire
Yes.
those girls,
Right.
that need that. And
Yes.
you never know the men, too.
Yes.
So
And that
true.
is actually a vision for us that that's one of our goals and one of our visions is to see other people, women, men, write their own stories, but also find their own communities too.
Yeah, because
And-
don't you feel like the men get kind of, I get mad at the men because we're girls, but the men kind of get left out of that. Kind of like they go through hard things, and like it's easier for us to, as women. And tell me if you think that's true. It's easier for us to kind of like get together and have the good friendships and the community with the women, but like the men don't always get that.
I think
they
it's
get tore
easier
apart.
for us to be vulnerable.
It
Right.
is. The men are
Yes.
harder. Hey,
Yes.
They're so good for you. So they're harder. They're hard-headed. They don't want to be. I know, Dad. But
Yes, we are.
But Dad, don't you find that too? That's true because
I'm
like
in here.
men can go through the same thing as a woman. A woman is going to have the tendency to get the more help after something, and the man just continues to make the same mistakes because they don't get the help, right?
Yes.
Men have a tougher time sometimes making close friends. The easiest way to make that happen is to have them go through something difficult together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
men bond when that happens. But if we're all going through something separate, it's much more difficult to get together and open up about something like that. It's not an
It
easy
is.
thing.
No, and that's the truth because, and I do read, and these books I was reading, and it's like a lot of, I was mad at the men a lot. But then it's like those men went through trauma too.
Yes. That's
And
right.
that's why
That's right.
they turned the way they did, because
Exactly.
they went through trauma.
Right.
And they needed help.
Mm-hmm.
But men have a tendency not to get the help because
And they're expected to be strong
Right.
and resilient, you know, and you
No
know, so I
feelings.
think it's harder for them
No.
to allow themselves to be vulnerable and get the help that they need because they don't want to be considered weak, you
Right.
know?
True.
yeah, no, true. And-
Judged, you
but
know?
they need to be healthy.
Yes.
Because it's good for for whoever they find.
Exactly.
Right.
To be healthy, so you know everybody needs to be healthy and
Yes.
supporting each other instead of like, because I know there was a few points in the book I was like, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna go beat him up and I'm gonna spank his butt and I'm gonna like you know what I'm saying, but then it's
Right.
like he went through something too,
Exactly.
Yes.
and that's why he's acting like that. So that would be really cool if y'all could even like get the men to write a book. I know they would.
Well, Monica's husband wrote a book.
Did he?
He actually did. Before I wrote a book, he wrote
Yes.
a book. I'm going to give it to you when we finish.
Please.
I have one in the car now that I'm thinking about it.
Why didn't you bring it in?
I wasn't thinking about it until you just said. I was only thinking about Shades of Victory.
I know, but like that's a good thing. So he wrote a book. What's the name of his book?
Living Proof.
Wow. Yeah, because I like read the book, people, because like you stayed with him through a lot.
I did.
You did.
And
did.
he's a mighty man of God
He
now.
is.
Isn't that
know,
amazing?
Leading
He is.
other men to Christ, walking with them through adversity and trials.
And he does prison ministry
Yes.
and all kind of things.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it really is. So maybe he needs to be my next guest.
He would love that. Oh, sure.
No, I would love to have him. No, seriously, because like that would be a great book for men to read, and be because he was I guess I'm sure he's vulnerable in his book,
Right.
right? Oh, Living Proof, Dad found it. Is that it?
Yes,
That's
but wait a
it.
minute, Dad. Roll it back. Shades of Victory, Dad. Shades of Victory.
okay.
Roll it back. That is.
Okay, so y'all are
There we go.
writers, right? Y'all are writers.
Yes, we are.
Yes. She and her husband, they have an awesome ministry. They really, really do. And like I said, Monica is so modest, but she has a gift. She has a gift of seeing the gifts in us, and we'll try to hide or shy away, and she's gonna call it out. But not only will she call it out, she's gonna walk with you through it. She's committed. And if she feels like you're starting to feel some type of way, she'll back off a little bit, but she's coming back.
She's not letting it go.
But that's right.
But that's what a good true friend.
Yeah, yes.
That's what
yes.
a warrior does.
That's right.
You're a
And that's
warrior.
exactly what she is.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And that's cool that your husband and y'all's story is so amazing, and your story's so amazing too. I loved both of them, and I loved each and every one of them in different ways. I just can't say enough about it. And is there anything else that y'all would like to add? I feel like y'all might not be telling everything.
We really want people to read that book.
Yes.
Because we want them to know that they can have a victorious life.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
because they have faced adversities or life happens to them, there is another side of life. There is the other side. When you're in the middle of something, you wonder if you'll ever get out of it. Mm-hmm. And we want them to know, I think all of our stories is you can do it. He did it for us, he'll do it for you. Me and God.
that. Yeah.
If he did it for us, he'll do it for you. So we want them to be inspired to live a victorious life. We want them to be inspired to write or tell their own story.
Yes.
And we want them to be inspired to find community, not to live silently with all of that pain.
Positive community, healthy community.
No, I mean
There are
that's
so many shades of victory.
Yes.
I love that. No. And y'all, I mean, I'm telling you, when I finished reading, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be in the room. I was so inspired. But I felt the love And I just felt like, not that they intertwined by any means. I don't want to give anything. Like, each story was each individual, but you can read each story and it's like, okay, these group of women all get together and they've been getting together and they wrote this book, and the love that y'all must have between each other must just be so special. Y'all are so rich beyond words, because that is worth more than any amount of money in this world. Can I tell you, to have those
yes.
friendships?
I agree.
No, it is. It really is. And to have people that will have your back and just love you for who you are, with all the things that you can just share things and just,
Right.
I can just tell that. And that's such a gift. We need to have more women's groups like that. Definitely. That's what I think, at least. Dad, what do you think about all this, and what do you want to ask?
Well, I will make some remarks.
Okay.
One is that I'm not instantly attractive to literature about women or written by women. Okay, I'm reading these science books and all that kind of stuff, but I was engaged and found it just very motivating, and I just tried to place myself in the circumstances and think about how much hope these stories tell, because when somebody's going through something by themselves, hope is not something that they easily grasp or find, and you can see it beginning to show up in each of the stories. And then the other thing too is that a lot of people say, well, there's no miracles anymore. Well, that's not true at all, because in both your stories that I read, it's obvious that very meaningful interactions from the divine were involved.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just unbelievable that and they're real. People, coincidences, right? There are no coincidences with God, right? So how he would speak to someone who you haven't spoken to, and all of a sudden they call you up and tell you something, and it's the message you needed to hear. This is how God works. It's little things like that. And so I'm anxious to read the rest of the stories, which I haven't finished yet, but they're beautiful. And I would encourage gentlemen to get the book, read it first, and then hand it to your beloved after that. But it's a very inspiring book because they're real stories. This is not fiction at all. This is real stuff.
Dad, were you just amazed with the faith?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I took away from it, was the faith, because that was, I struggled so much when Lindsay got sick, and I was mad at God. I was so mad, and I was like, why? And I got over that. I'm not mad at him anymore. But I remember Sister saying, "That's good. You're mad. At least you're talking to him."
Right.
But like, it's just every woman, it just had that faith, and it's just unbelievable.
And
The faith is unbelievable.
And faith is tested in the kind of fire that people have gone through.
It
these
is.
stories, and that's how it gets even stronger too.
It does,
That's
because
right.
my faith is so much stronger now than it was. And that's what, that was the thing Lindsay told. I'm going to quote that. Remember when she was on our show, Lindsay said, we were in carpool line or something, and I was driving her around, and she was bald and all this stuff. And I looked at her, she's like, "What's wrong, Mom?" Because she could see my tears. And I was like, "I'm so mad." It's like, I'm just so mad. Like, why did this happen? You're 20. Now, you have 2-year-old, 4-year-old. And she's like, "But Mom, we're so lucky. Because we're getting a chance to be so close. People die. And they never get an opportunity to be this close to God."
Wow.
Yes.
And I was like, my child, who is going through pure hell, is
Encouraging
teaching me.
That's right.
And when she said that, I quit feeling sorry for myself.
So that was her perspective.
You're right.
See, that was perspective. All of us, we have perspectives. And it's just which angle are you looking from? From which area are you
That's
looking
so
from?
smart. No, that's right. No, you're so right with that. You are very wise. No, you are. You're very wise. No, she is.
She really
no,
is.
she is. No, but that's true. It was the perspective, and it's just a different way of looking at something. And people heal, and we're hearing this more and more and more now. And it's all of the attitude. and it's mindset. Mm-hmm. You don't allow yourself to go in those dark places. You
That's
have to just
right.
keep pushing forward. And like you said, you never gave up. You just wanted to give up, but you never gave up. You just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And you have to, because that's what faith is, right?
That's right.
That's what it is. It's just never, but there's times where you get to those points where sometimes where you do feel like that. But then, like that little angel just spoke to me in that car, and I was just like, she's the one going through this. Yeah, I just want her to be able to raise her children. You know what I mean? That was my biggest thing. So it was quite eye-opening. And then, then reading these books, I just felt very, I felt Jesus. I know, like when I was reading, I felt how faithful each and every one of you were. And people can learn from that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you, just by saying perspective and not putting you on the spot, but did your perspective change when you were going through? Because I know we talked, without giving too much of your story away, we talked a little bit about how initially you started and then you had to shift your focus.
Absolutely. My perspective did change, because at first, I thought I was in control, and, I would make decisions and then things would fall apart, right? And it's
I was
like,
laughing when I
why
was
are
reading.
things falling apart? But it's because, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything else will be added. I had to learn to just settle down and trust God.
And that's what I have to do.
Yes.
That's what I was having to
Yes.
do too. Like just,
Yes.
but you want to control everything.
Yes,
I'm like that
yeah.
too. It's like I want it my way. And this
Just
is
thinking I knew,
it's like it's
I
my
know what's
plan.
best
God,
for
I got
me.
the plan.
And then when it
It's
fall
great.
apart, it's like, wait, God, wait, fix it. What are you,
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't come to me before you made this decision. Now you want me to fix it, but you didn't talk to me about this. This was your decision, and that's what God does. He's not going to force himself on us.
That's
No.
Right?
That's right.
And you got to seek him out.
That's right.
And even after we make a wrong choice, he's going to be there. He'll
Yes.
try to help us
Oh,
through
wow.
it.
Yes, he
Absolutely.
will.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's standing there waiting.
Absolutely.
He never leaves us. We leave him.
No,
That's
we,
right.
yeah. When I was buying alcohol at 16, I left him.
Uh-oh.
Everybody, who didn't at 16? Whatever.
Yes,
But
thank God for
but
his
seriously,
grace.
no, he's always there. It's if you choose. You're right, and that's so. I'm glad you asked for that. Made me even think of some things, But it's true
Yes.
because it's like you're just going along life, and you just think you got it all figured out,
Right.
and then a bump in the road hits, and it's like you ain't got nothing figured out.
That's
Yes.
And if you don't have him, and I'm lucky, Dad, because like y'all gave me my faith. Not everybody gets that.
That's
So true.
So some people have to figure that out on their own. You know what I mean? My parents always taught me, brought me to church kicking and screaming when I was little, but like they gave me faith. So you know that. But like when the hard times hit, you have to have that
That's
because you have
Yes.
nothing.
Nothing
And
else.
so if you don't have that, you're really, I don't know what people do who don't have a faith,
Right.
but I'm kind of, I always think I have the better plan,
Yes.
which I don't. I don't have no plan, So yeah,
So now, yes, to live in the fruit of that, it's like, thank you, Lord, for
Yeah.
never leaving me,
No, yeah, and like
Thank you
you
for
have
your
such
grace.
and like just reading your book. I don't know your husband or anything, but it seems like you really have everything's together, And you got the cutest little dog and the cute little grandbaby. I friended you on Facebook. Oh my gosh, she's so cute,
Yes,
so it's
very
just
thankful.
all the wonderful things
The
that come,
blessings.
And
Yes.
I'm sure you see that too. All
Yes.
the blessings that come out of all this,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's why you gotta buy the book. Dad, you can't. I'm not.
I can bring it up again.
Bring it up.
Right.
Buy the book.
It's a quick, easy read.
Oh, it's so
All the stories
easy.
are engaging.
It's not. Wait, I shouldn't say that, Dad. It's not an easy read.
Well-
it's an easy read.
Well,
It's an
easy
emotion-
meaning vocabulary
No,
wise.
it doesn't.
Emotional read.
It's an emotional read.
Yeah.
It'll get
Yeah.
you. And I had to go back and I had to put it down and I had to go back and read it. And then sometimes I'd have to start over because I was in my head thinking things that I shouldn't probably be thinking, and then I had to read it again.
Yeah, I saw some of your underlines in there.
When you meet my husband, I want you to show him your underlines.
And I hate to tell you, it was when I was reading your story.
Shadesofvictory.org.
And as she was reading, I was like, I underlined, I was like, where is he at? And I am going to just get, and I'm going to make him just be so sorry. It's like, I'm going to do so much, But I mean, you just become...
Yes, you take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? And it's just, but that's what a good writer does. I understood. I felt your pain.
Mm-hmm.
I felt your angst. I felt your pain. I felt your angst. I felt everybody's. So, of course, it took, and that's why my poor dad got the book last week, because it took me that long to get through it.
Yes.
Just to, not that it took, but I really did I wanted to feel all the things, and
Right.
I wanted to learn from the book. I want to. I don't have to just read it just to read it. You know what I mean? I wanted to feel it. So
No, I totally understand. I had to put it down a few
You did
times.
too?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you felt the same way.
I did.
Yes.
And you know those people. So that's
Yes.
even harder, because you love them.
Yes.
And that's even harder. So when do y'all get together again?
Well, actually, some of us will be getting together this Friday to celebrate a birthday.
Yes.
Well,
You
good reason.
Yes.
Birthday.
I
Joyce's
Joyce is having a very good.
Yes.
So y'all celebrate birthdays.
Yes,
Yes,
and
and
we're having
birthdays.
a mystery dinner.
All
yeah,
right.
fun.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, are y'all doing it at somebody's house? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I've been seeing people doing that kind of stuff lately, mystery stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is my first, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, my
told
daughter went to
Monica-
one.
Yes, I'm like, this group never ceases to amaze me. I have so many new experiences. I'm always excited to see what's going to happen next.
I
What are we
love
doing
it.
next?
A lot of creativity
Yes,
in our
so
group.
much.
Those women
So
are
much.
very. That's why you see the diverse background in the writing, but a lot of creativity. All of those women are very unique in their own ways.
I
Yes,
saw
and
somebody
talented.
was would they knit? Was it
Yes,
knitting?
that's
Tawanda.
That's Tawanda. That
Yeah.
she was knitting.
Cool. Yes.
Does she sell those? And her.
She does.
She does,
She does
yeah.
sell them. I mean,
She does.
you know, she will like a special order. She does.
Yeah, I saw that in the book. I mean, so there were just so many things. I saw like everybody's so unique, and everybody's got their little thing, which
They
I thought
do.
was so.
And
like-
our introduction, when I introduced everyone, they do have their own things. Who somebody's
Danielle
financial.
is the foodie.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we want to know a good place to eat,
Yes.
we put Danielle Mack on it. She's gonna always find a great place
Good
for us
food.
to dine.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And then
So-
we have Valerie. We didn't say much about Valerie, but Valerie is our quiet one that brings the wisdom.
But she's a prayer
Warrior.
warrior.
She
Okay.
really is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And she's just
Very
oh
meek.
my goodness. She's
Lot of
so
humility.
loving
She is.
and meek and she's just so positive.
You
She
need
can
people
find
like
the
that.
positive in any situation.
Really?
She's one that really helps us with gratitude.
Yes.
That's
Because
so
she's
good.
always, no matter what happens, her daughter, I guess I can say this, her daughter was in a bad accident. And it was right around Christmas. And we were just, all of us, we were just upset when we found out about it. And I called her and I was like, oh, Valerie, I am so sorry that this happened. She said, this is the best Christmas ever. I'm like, huh? She said, my daughter is alive.
Yes.
Perspective.
Yes.
See, we're looking at the total car and
Right.
this, but she's looking at my daughter is alive.
Alive. That's right.
So true.
That's right.
So-
Yeah, no, that's perspective. See that perspective? That is the truth.
It's everything.
It is
Yes.
everything, and you need
Yes.
those positive people in your life, because I need help in that area sometimes. You know, I think we all do at times that we can get down and out and stuff. So, what did your kids think? I want to do that, and before we end the show, how did your kids feel about the book? Or have any of them read the book?
Yes, my kids read the book.
They did.
They did.
Yes.
Are they so proud?
Proud that we stepped out and wrote it. Yes, proud. Yeah, for sure.
proud of
Proud that we
y'all.
wrote the book.
Proud of your story.
Yes.
How strong
Yes.
y'all are too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing moms.
And they said that, you know,
Yeah.
each of them shared, you know, how, you know, they were like, Mom, we didn't even know, you know, about some of those things, and wow, you came out and you always loved and cared for us. So, it was very impactful.
Yeah, and they
them
get to
too.
know a piece of their mom, because lots of times our kids don't know that.
No,
They
we don't
don't.
share those things.
Because we keep it.
That's
Because there's
right.
no reason for them to worry. We don't
That's
want them
right.
worrying and
That's
being
right,
concerned.
Monica.
So we protect them by keeping it.
But they don't know anything that you go through, and then it's like, then you're here, and they have no idea what your journey was.
Right.
So I think that's kind of cool that they get to have this book forever. Even when
Yes.
y'all are gone, your grandkids, your great grandkids will always have this book.
Yes.
I think that's amazing. They'll have this show they can watch.
Yes.
No, I think that's good, because the show will forever be on. And I think when 10, 15, 20 years, you don't know what's going to happen. You can always go back and see
Right.
a live video of your family on. I think that's cool. So, but anyways, I want to thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
No,
Thank you, ladies.
so
yeah,
much.
I really do appreciate y'all coming. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I don't know if you're watching. What an angel Melissa is. Do you know Melissa?
Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh, don't you
She
just
is
love
such
her?
an angel.
We should. I was like, I need to do a show with just her.
I agree.
And put little wings on her.
Yes.
Because she prays for everybody.
in Walgreens.
And Walgreens.
People come to Walgreens looking for Melissa.
They do.
Yep, she's
Yes,
famous
so
for
that
that.
she can
She
pray
is.
over them, not because they want to buy a product, but
Right.
because they
She prays over everybody.
everybody.
And hugs them like
Yes.
she
Loves
their
on
best
them.
friend.
That's right.
And
That's
like
right.
that's what she did to me. I was in there and
Same.
didn't know anything I was going through. Lindsay, I had the babies with me. I had 2 and a 4-year-old with me. I was overwhelmed. She grabbed me. She hugged me. She starts praying. She's like, "Your daughter, God's got it. Quit. Stop. You're fine. She's fine."
Yes.
Here we are 4 years later.
See?
Yes, and my daughter was struggling with acne and finding makeup that would blend with her skin. And Melissa was like, "Sit down, baby. I have you." And she tried different makeup on her.
Don't you
And
love
then
her?
for her 13th birthday, she was like, "Bring her here the morning of her birthday." And I was like, "Okay, Melissa. Well, how much?" And she was like, "Nothing.
Wow.
I'm going to bless you." Yes.
No, she does that.
Yes.
Like when I went to her church. Me and my husband went to her church, and it was women talking who had breast cancer, and it was some amazingly strong women. I needed to go, and she sent me home with like gift bags, and I'm like, why are you giving me all this? Like, so kind.
She really
the
is a
definition
blessing.
is she really. I
A true
can't.
blessing.
Yeah, I can't. She's. When you go through hard times, you just never know what little angel's going to show up,
Right.
and she was my angel.
Yes.
So you want a Melissa when you go through hard times.
Yes,
it sounds
You
like.
do, you do, because she just, and the minute, and it doesn't matter when you go, she's the same every time.
Every time.
Every-
She
don't you find
is.
that?
Yes, every time. So I hope you're watching, Melissa.
I know.
Shout out
We
to
love you. We
Yes.
do. We love you so much. But anyways, Dad, do you want to end with anything?
I just want to say thank you
No,
very
thank
much.
you,
Your
yes.
stories and the book are a gift to the community and
It is.
beyond, to provide hope and reason to go on, and also reason to bring the Lord into your life.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, honey, what's going on next week?
So we have a local artist.
Okay.
Vanessa Jacob is going to be on. So she's going to bring some of her artwork, and she'll have her website where you can buy her art, and she's going to kind of tell her story a little bit on how she kind of got started doing her painting.
And I have no artistic talent whatsoever, so I'll be glad to see that.
Oh, and her artwork is phenomenal. It's very, very honey.
Oh, all right. Then you'll enjoy that.
It's fun.
Okay, everybody. We're glad to be back on the air, and we'll be back again next week with Vanessa. Join us then. We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.